Okay. All right. So we are live on Leegend TV. So Rick, thank you very much for joining this morning.
Hello,
Um,
Leegend TV family. This is B.B. Kyung here. B.B.
yeah,
Kyung here. Thank you.
yeah,
Thanks for your invite.
no problem, no problem. So
Sorry, I'm
yeah,
just getting
Rick,
my espresso ready.
yeah,
It's quickly.
awesome.
Yes.
What kind of espresso is it?
Uh, Bean is actually lavender. Like there's like a one pack of beans, that is sold in Costco.
Okay.
Forgot the brand name actually. It starts with L. It's
Yeah.
Italian coffee beans. I forgot the name. Do you recall the name though? Like.
Um, Me personally, I don't buy any beans. Like I usually just get my espressos at the coffee shops. But like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
like
Okay.
in my previous videos prior to today, like I've been going to a lot of coffee shops, getting Americanos and coffee and espressos.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much, like I usually get double long espressos, like, get the feel the maximize the taste,
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, what kind is yours?
Uh, it's called. Well, I mean, it's an espresso. It's a single shot.
Okay.
Yeah. But just forgot the name of the bean because that bean is like really good.
Yeah.
Like when I make espresso out of it, like it has like a very thick taste of
Yeah.
espresso and coffee. And it tastes a bit of a chocolate too,
Hmm.
a bit
It's
of a
good stuff.
sweetness.
Good
Yeah.
stuff. Good stuff.
Anyways,
Where's
without
that?
any further ado, let's really get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I
Well,
look
Rick,
forward
I
to it.
asked you to join, this meeting this morning to, of
Thank you.
course, talk about. You're welcome. To deep dive into what you've been doing, since the lockdown back in March. I've known you for many years. You're pretty much, like an older friend from Concordia University. We met through an event, a paintball event, and then we just kept in touch since through soccer, through just gyms here and there. We didn't work out together as much, but I think it was just a few times. But we just, just hung out, different events, birthday parties, this and that. Um,
Cool.
but yeah, so we're gonna be, of course, talking also about your rugby career. Of course, that was more relevant in your earlier days, but we'll learn today, of course, how that's been coming along. So without further ado, yes, indeed. So growing up in Montreal, of course, you're originally from Korea, but growing up in Montreal, like as a semi-professional rugby player, uh, what was the discipline to enable your workout regime?
Let me just give you a little correction there. Like it
Okay,
was not a semi-pro rugby player. Like that's a bit too far. Like
sure.
like, thanks for your compliment. Like for recognizing me as like a semi-pro rugby player. But it was like I was for sure passionate about rugby and I loved rugby, but like I was not never at that level of like athleticism. Like I wish I was. Like I was highly disciplined to get myself improved every year, every day, but unfortunately, like I was never that talented to get to that level. Like I was playing in an amateur league, and so I mean, over 10 years of time was really fun, playing rugby and all.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's it. Like I never reached that far, like for the rugby. I don't know if I could say career or like a rugby journey or whatever it is called. So yeah, just wanted to give you a little correction on that. Like I was
no
just
worries.
like a amateur rugby player who wanted to just play rugby for fun and stuff. But anyways,
Yeah.
so your question was how like what was the
No,
discipline that?
yeah, for your workout regime, of course, as an athlete, you're in tip-top shape.
Hmm.
So you probably went to the gym like pretty frequently, or maybe had a lot of cardio workouts.
Yeah, like when I was playing rugby, like I didn't just hit the gym. Like my time in the gym was kind of minimal. Like back then, I didn't really have much like knowledge of like how to train for specifically for rugby. Like
Yes.
I received like some of the programs from previous trainers, and I kind of mixed it up into my gym training routines, which is not specifically, like targeting for like better performance level in rugby game, you know? So that gym training was just like whatever, like I did whatever I could, like do my best to like increase my strength level.
Yes.
but it was a lot more like I was a lot more involved like in like outside training. Like I was running around, like doing body weight trainings, like pull-ups, like and jogging, and then speed workouts and agility workouts to, stay in good shape and making sure that my speed was like at its max level and
Hmm.
agility also and so on.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely goes to show, like in regards to your growth over the years, you're definitely like in tip-top shape. I believe your team is was it always the Montreal Wanderers, or was there like another team?
I played for Montreal Wanderers for about 10 years.
Okay.
And then I made a switch to Montreal Irish afterwards.
Okay.
And I wanted to actually, because to me, um, Montreal Irish was a better fit for me. Like
Yes.
their culture and everything, to me, was a bit more serious than Montreal Wanderers. And I thought it was going to be a better fit. And I thought I could develop myself as a better player in that team with that kind of culture. But
Yes.
unfortunately, in 2016 September, while I was in the semi-final game against the Quebec team, I tore my MCL,
Okay.
so I had to go through surgery, and then from that moment,
Turn here.
yeah, it's that moment where I tore my MCL, like just stayed in my head. So even after surgery, I got back to like playing like touch rugby, like starting off with the touch rugby, wanted to get back to like real rugby afterwards. But
Yeah.
in rugby, there's a lot of change in direction as you run on the field, and because I've been off the training for about more than a year, and my leg, the injured leg, was very weak. So when I was trying to switch directions, while playing touch rugby, I felt very wobbly.
Yeah.
So I realized, oh man, this is getting really scary, and I just couldn't really play rugby seriously anymore from
Yeah.
that point. So I had to stop, unfortunately, like after the first year of playing for Montreal Irish.
Hmm.
So I think, yeah, so from then on, like I never really had a chance to play rugby more seriously and, develop myself as a better rugby player.
Yeah. Well, it's unfortunate here, but I'm sure that 10 years speaks volumes in regards to what you've accomplished as a rugby player, and made you into the general healthy performer you are today. Um, so yeah, I mean, I'm sure throughout the years, throughout those 10 plus years, it was a bit of a juggle with school and work. Primarily school in the beginning, as you entered university, and of course CJIP and high school. How did you juggle that with your schedule?
It's very funny because as I started off my university, I've always had this fantasy, like if you watch the, those Hollywood movies, like you see those like university students who are like, like performing highly, like at a like sports team, but, like getting the 4.0 GPA and, like striving for the excellence and stuff. Like I thought I could do that, like as I got into the university. So I started off with like, Stingers rugby team while like, studying at the same time.
Hmm.
But apparently, I couldn't really manage well on my school side. I almost got, probation,
Oh my
was
God.
it was very dangerous on my first year. So like, I kind of had to quit rugby, like I had to get back to school. But the way I kept my, like, way I managed my schedule for rugby in school is that I always had my agenda, plan out for the week, and set out, like what's the first priority. Obviously, that's school, and then sports comes after because I was not going for like I was not going for a professional athlete career anyways. So like I was trying to do as many tasks that are listed in my weekly agenda, and then like obviously my first priority is the school, work, then rugby, training, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of like how I manage my schedule, like to get myself more disciplined, responsible, and grow at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, not many people know. I mean, we weren't gonna like deep dive into it, but of course, you are a successful grad at Concordia University. You did become a designated. I'll let you explain the accounting field you're in.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was a CPA, CMA.
Oh yeah, it's a CPA. It's called CPA, but
Yeah.
my path is a little funnier than the other usual CPAs here.
Okay.
It's because I did the US CPA at the first place.
Yeah.
Which is not the Canadian, which is different from the Canadian CPAs. And I first thought like they both are CPA. So if I have the US CPA, I can work as a CPA in Canada as well. Like I had this funny thinking in my head, and the funny thing is, the exam for the US CPA to me is a lot simpler than the Canadian CPA. So I thought I could go like on the easier path to become a like successful CPA here, but actually it was not happening. And then like I kind of had to struggle, you know, like for a couple of years whether I have to pursue the Canadian CPA or not. I was like struggling in my head, you know, like should I go for it or not? You know, I was thinking, but then after 6-7 years of like career path as an accountant, I realized, okay, if I want to move forward, if I want to advance in this field, you know, I'll have to go for the Canadian CPA. So from 2018, I started the Canadian CPA program. Now I'm almost hitting the end of it. So
Yeah.
I'm
It's
almost
great.
there.
That's
Almost
great.
there. Yes, yes, yes.
Keep it up, and of course, it goes to show that you couldn't juggle both at the same time. Like now that you focus more on one like factor, enabled you to go at the top with full optimization. So awesome.
Yeah.
But in regards to the rugby career aspect of things, right now you're pretty much a part-time player, correct?
Not even though. Like
No?
from the time of the injury,
Yeah.
like I wanted to get back to it. So like I slowly got into like touch rugby, but with the like marriage, work, school, and everything, couldn't really think of like going back to the Montreal Irish team and start playing seriously. You know, like I'm not even playing part time. You know, like I'm more just like watching rugby and then
Yeah.
like hearing the rugby community in Quebec to see like how things are evolving, especially you know with this like COVID-19 thing. You know, like
Yeah.
the league kind of got stopped, and like you know I want to see how things are going. And yeah, there are some events coming up here and there. So like that's what I'm hearing. Like I didn't want to distance myself, you know, from from that community because I don't play rugby anymore. You know, I used
Yeah.
to play rugby. I still love rugby. So like I'm still involved, but not really playing anymore.
Okay. Understood. Understood. And of
Yeah.
course, speaking of, like lockdown and all that, I noticed as we spoke about some weeks ago, since the lockdown, you started to be more involved with your own YouTube channel, B.B. Kyung. Um,
Yeah.
and of course, there's a Korean version of it. I'm not sure what that translates to on your YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. No,
So,
it's basically what it stands for is barbell Kyung. Like my Kyung is like my first name,
okay. Yeah.
and then BB stands for barbell. So like this means basically I'm lifting barbell. You know, like that.
Mm,
That's kind of like my nickname. You know, like you
yeah.
know lifting barbells and stuff. As I was getting more into the powerlifting
Yeah.
after quitting rugby,
Yeah.
you know, I wanted to make a YouTube channel, but my first intent was to, you know, draw attention and get more subscribers, views, likes here and there, and then, you know, get money, you know, like get money. But apparently, it was very stressful thinking of that because, as you know, as a you're a YouTuber too, but you know
Yeah.
it's very hard to draw attention of the people and you know get likes and get views and get more viewers and subscribers and so on. It's hard. And if your only goal is to like get money out of the YouTubing, like it gets really stressful. And I know I already have my full-time job, so I didn't really have to stress out for this. So
Yeah.
after that, I realized, okay, I can just put the videos of what I'm doing with the one specific goal in mind, and then show people that I'm progressing. And I'm not only showing my good side of it, you know, like that's not the beauty of my channel. I'm also telling people that I'm just like them. I'm like everyone else. Like I'm just like ordinary person who's
Yeah.
trying to achieve goal, but at the same time I struggle and I fall. but I try to get back to it to achieve goal. So at the end of the day, my message to people is that if you don't give up and just go on your way, you know, like have your goal in mind, and you'll end up achieving your goal at the end of it. So that's the whole purpose. That's the whole like vision of having my channel open on YouTube.
Well said. Well said. And yeah, I've seen a few of those clips. It's a bit humor based. It's a bit, you know, like in regards to, you know, the hustle when it comes to having to work out at home without all of the usual equipment. So, but you've made it work though, from what I've seen, like from somewhat of your stature in regards to what you normally do, like on a heavy set of powerlifting and all that. You made it work in regards to home workouts. Perhaps if you can explain to our viewers, what are some of your favorite workouts right now at home?
Um, at home, I just like doing the body weight workouts, like body weight exercises, like push-ups and like maybe I have 2 kettlebells at home. I do like, you know, bicep curls and like shoulder press, you know, at home too. But
Yeah,
at first I wanted to continue with my powerlifting at home, you know, but obviously I don't have space for the squat racks and bars and the bench and everything. So I was using, I don't know if you saw my videos, but I was using my luggage, my gym bags to like stack the weights in and then try to do squats, deadlifts, and bench press. But
okay. Didn't see that one
obviously,
yet.
you saw that.
No, not
So,
yet, but I'll check that one out.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
what happens is the beauty of powerlifting is like as you practice more
yeah,
from the lighter weights with a good technique, the weight that you lift would have to increase eventually, like, you know,
yeah,
from one week to another. But the problem with the powerlifting that I was trying at home is weight is very light, first of all, and the weight doesn't move up because the weight that I can stack in the gym bag and luggage is limited.
mm,
So it's not progressing, but at the same time, the movement is very limited. You know, like squat is you're just going up and down. Deadlift, you're just lifting the bar up, and bench press, you're just like laying down and push the bar and push the whatever luggage. So if there's no progress with the weight that you're lifting, obviously it's very boring because the movement is very static. So after a couple of weeks of trying, and I was also like putting my YouTube video too on that, like I really found it boring, you know. So
yeah,
I really couldn't just continue like doing this at home, you know, without having access to the gym, plus, you know, no space for squat rack. So you know what? I'll just drop the powerlifting for a moment, for this moment, and I just go for the regular home, like, you know, like body weight workout, you know, like, and try to see some results from it, you know, losing weight and, you know, gaining some cuts and stuff, you know. That's why I got into like body weight exercises more nowadays.
yeah. And you've definitely made it work for yourself. I mean, like for the competitive level that you went into amateur rugby and as a natural athlete yourself over the last 10 plus years, your discipline definitely speaks volumes in regards to what you're capable of. And if anything, maybe perhaps you could coach young athletes in the future in some capacity. Um,
Uh, yeah, I don't know if I'm at the level where I could give advice to those like real like professional like young athletes out there. Like
yeah,
me myself is really not at the level, you know, that I think I achieved, you know, what I want yet, you
yeah,
know. But what I want to tell them is, okay, like from my experience, if you have a set of goal and you continuously go for it without giving up in the middle of it because, you know, you don't think it's working out, blah blah blah,
yeah.
you'll definitely achieve it, but you definitely need some time, patience,
Mm,
and tenacity to go for it. So
correct.
that's what I want
Well
to give
said.
as a message. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Awesome. Well, Rick, thank you very much for this morning for this Q&A. Much appreciated. Look forward to catching up once we don't have to do the social distancing anymore. But it's gonna be what
Yeah.
it is. I'm sure we can figure
Stressful
something out.
nowadays. Yeah.
But of course, with the face mask and all that. So how can people find your channel on YouTube? What's the name of your YouTube channel?
The name is B.B. Kyung. Like it's a B dot B dot Kyung,
Okay.
Kyung.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you go on YouTube and type B.B. Kyung, like you'll find my channel.
Okay.
And please subscribe and like on my videos if you guys want. And plus, just wanted to let you know, my channel has been, I've been filming myself in English only, but
Yeah.
now I kind of changed back to Korean because I don't know, I feel more comfortable. I'm being less stiff, like when I'm communicating in Korean. So like that's what
No
I'm doing.
worries.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like
You have an international
implementing.
audience.
Yeah, I'm thinking of implementing. Like subtitles eventually, but for now, that's what's happening. But all my
Yeah.
previous videos that I've been filming in English, so you guys can check it out. And although I look a little stiff and nervous, like just be aware that it's my first time filming myself, like talking on a camera. It's like it was kind of awkward, but getting used to it, it'll get better eventually.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, once again, thank you very much, Rick, for this morning. Much appreciated. So everyone, you can please check out the BB Kyung, b.b.kyung, when you can. Please subscribe and share as well. And of course, thank you for joining in for another episode of Leegend TV. Please subscribe, share, like if you haven't already. This is the first attempt at a Zoom meeting with a friend, good friend, and I'm sure there'll be many more in this format. With that being said, have a good day.
Take care.